Chelsea news. Hello my dear sweet friends, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan, and I do hope you lot, oh, can't talk, just like inhaled a bit of dust or something. No, I don't have the virus, I'm fine. Anyway, I hope you're doing well, I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. 3 things I want to talk about today. The return, no, not the return, Jesus, Jan, restart. Billy Gilmour did not go on loan and is set to stay at Chelsea, hopefully forevermore, after impressing Thomas Tuchel in training. A little bit on that. The truth behind Thomas Tuchel's peculiar 18-month contract at Chelsea Football Club that could actually be a little bit longer. Ooh. And I want to talk about what the new German gaffer had to say about Kai Havertz on the Fifth Stand app. Go take you through it, to hold your hand and take you through it, because it's interesting. Settle in, get comfortable, subscribe if you're new. Over 110,000 subscribers. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you so much for joining the movement, you there sitting at your computer, or maybe your phone, or smart TV, tablet, PlayStation. Thanks for watching me and subscribing and hitting the bell notifications icon. And if you want to show some love and support, drop a like as we roll into the first story in today's video. And that is, of course, Billy Gilmour. Your boy Jan is a big fan, oh my god, I'm rhyming again, of Billy Gilmour. Little diminutive, tenacious, skillful midfielder Billy Gilmour. He gets stuck in, he may be small in stature, but as Frank Lampard said, he's big in personality and expresses himself on the pitch. Now, the concern for Gilmour was that he needs game time to secure his place for his national team, Scotland, going into the Euros. Obviously, they've qualified. It's massive for them. They haven't been in a major international tournament for a long time, and he can't miss this opportunity. Reports suggest that he's had discussions with Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel has reportedly been very impressed with Billy Gilmour in training. And, you know, I think a lot of Chelsea fans would have seen this as inevitable. He's such a good player. Thomas Tuchel's such a good coach with a keen eye. How could you miss that? So he's obviously seen it and thought, oh, actually, I'll have a bit of that. I think he was prepared to loan him out, absolutely. He's like, look, I've got a big squad here, loads of players. This kid wants to go on loan for a national team, fine, whatever. And then he's watched him a little bit and thought, actually, we're going to talk about this. The truth is, I think Gilmour would like to stay at Chelsea. Training with Thomas Tuchel and this Chelsea squad probably has more value for him rather than going out on loan, meeting a bunch of players for 6 months, trying to figure out how they play. Do you know what I mean? And if you're the coaches at the Scottish national team, you'll probably look at him and be like, look, I think he'll develop great as a player under Tuchel rather than throwing him out to a random team for 6 months. Maybe we can give him, you know, time regardless. To be honest, personally, I think he definitely needs to be starting for Scotland. I know McGinn and some other players, they've got excellent players and Fraser and stuff, but you gotta start Billy Gilmour. He's like superb quality. Anyway, if he gets a few games with Thomas Tuchel and trains with the Chelsea first team, that should be enough. So good news, big thumbs up, let's roll on. Funny story, right? Obviously that's gross, I've just burped. I'm gonna keep that in for humour's sake. Burps are disgusting, generally I always edit them out. But I'm always burping on camera. I just cut them out. Oh, all my sponsors are going to drop me. Anyway, let's move into the next story of today's video. And that is Thomas Tuchel's 18-month deal. A bit peculiar. A lot of people thought, whoa, that's weird. Top tier coach in the shape of Thomas Tuchel. A lot of T's alliteration going on there. Only offered an 18-month deal. That's a bit insulting. It's basically a year deal with the extra months coming in mid-season. And then people might reflect on it a little bit more and thought, well, you know what? It's Chelsea Football Club. Maybe they're just being really self-aware. I mean, look, mate, you know what's going on. We know what's going on. Have an 18-month deal. Do you know what I mean? Save us all a lot of trouble. Save a lot of face, and he's agreed to it. But the truth is, more reports are coming out, and although Thomas Tuchel didn't say this in interviews, there is a reported clause that if he achieves top 4 this season, which is going to be like, you know, he started in a difficult place, like 9th place or something. If he achieves top 4 this season, which would be a decent achievement, although very achievable if you consider the squad and how everyone's messing up in the league. And again, next season, so that's consecutive top 4 finishes, there's a clause in his contract which triggers an extension to stay at Chelsea. Who knows, maybe even a pay rise. I don't know that, I'm just speculating. So that makes a lot more sense. 18 months initially, while, you know, we're like Chelsea Football Club's like that person who's got like relationship issues. Do you know what I mean? That's just been hurt so many times by managers like suing them or, you know, massive payouts. Chelsea have paid out over 100 million under Abramovich for managers and coaching staff. Crazy numbers. They probably looked at that and been like, although Frank Lampard had like a 3 million payout, which is nothing because there's only 6 months left on his deal, and he wasn't getting paid much money, Frank Lampard, to be honest, for like a Chelsea manager anyway. So Chelsea are like, I won't get hurt again. 18 months only. But to be honest, the clause is sensible. It suits everyone. Thomas Tuchel gets to manage in the Premier League, something he's always wanted to do. He gets dropped in with an amazing squad. Loads of players that he's already wanted, like N'Golo Kante, but also possibly Germany's best 2 up-and-coming talents in Werner and Havertz, you know, Kimmich as well, and people like that. But you know what I mean? Amazing, amazing players. And he's like, this opportunity is too good to turn down. I don't care if it's only 18 months. I'll do well in this 18 months, and I'll get the, you know, I'll trigger the extension clause, and everything's going to be lovely. And Chelsea are going to win the Champions League. Yeah? Alright then, so another piece of positive news. Let's move on to the third story in today's video, where I talk about what the gaffer has to say about Kai Havertz. Right then, this is on Chelsea's 5th Stand app, so I'll be taking it to that today as a resource to read through what Tuchel had to say about the German sensation. Chelsea's record signing, Kai Havertz, of course, an absolute, I've said it once and I'll say it again, a Rolls Royce of a footballer, even though we've only seen it in little glimpses. When he started for Chelsea, I was absolutely waxing lyrical about him. He glides all over the pitch carrying the ball, little disguised passes, he can win headers, aerial duels, so he's not just a frail, lanky dude. He's an absolute baller. He's so young, he's scored so many goals and got so many assists already from, you know, not necessarily striking positions. Absolute incredible footballer. You got the virus, you got ill, he dropped off, trouble at Chelsea, you know, Lampard, animosity behind the scenes. It's not the best environment, but Tuchel's come in and it's his job to make this superb superstar whole again. And I believe he can do it. So let's take to the 5th Stand app and I'm going to read you a little bit of what they said in this story. Let's get into it now. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea is the perfect place for Kai Havertz to fulfill his potential and believes the midfielder can achieve great things with the Blues. Havertz had to deal with a bunch of setbacks during his first few months at Chelsea following his move from Bayer Leverkusen at the start of the season, with spells out of action due to injury and the big Rona interrupting his progress. The midfielder certainly seems to have made a good first impression on this fellow German, who predicts a bright future for Kai Havertz at Stamford Bridge and was impressed by his decision to take on the big challenge of stepping up to the level like Chelsea Football Club at such a young age, which is fair enough. He did come pretty young, but so did Pulisic and other players. I mean, it is a brave move, fair enough, new culture, a difficult time as well when the world seems to be ending. There's a lot of things to consider. I do like salute the move as well. I know you could be like, oh, what, professional footballer getting paid millions playing for Chelsea, but if you're a young person, you forget actually how, you know, frightening this stuff can be. So fair play to him. Let's see what Thomas Tuchel had to say himself. I think his potential is almost endless, and I think he made a very brave choice. You have to understand, before I keep on explaining, that I'm a huge fan of Bayer Leverkusen in terms of how they've developed as a club over the years and what players they develop and the quality of football they play. That's true, but they're also called Bayer, is it Neverkusen their nickname is? Because they never win anything, so developing good players, but that's about it for the moment. But you come from Leverkusen to Chelsea, the culture cannot be any more different. You come from a club where it's okay to be second best, third best, to reach the top 4, where you compete for this on a very high level with all my respects, but you go to a club where they talk about trophies, and if a club talks about trophies and winning titles so openly, there is a certain atmosphere. Yeah, basically going from Leverkusen to Chelsea Football Club, when Marina Granovskaya would have said in his interview, alright Thomas, you gotta win. You gotta win, mate. You have to win. So that means Kai steps not only into a different country, not only into a different club, not only to different teammates, which in itself is already complicated and already a challenge. No, he even changes the culture of the club, his environment, in a dramatic way. I love it because he's so far out of his comfort zone. That's true. Challenge yourself. Throw yourself into the fire. Walk through the flames, Kai Havertz. Challenge yourself. I mean, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Anyway, there's more. What I feel here from him, he's a very intelligent guy, a very friendly guy, a very open guy with a lot of potential, and we will push him. He seems to be like a guy who can need to be pushed, and we will not stop. For him, it's the perfect league because he cannot rest. He has so much potential that needs to be challenged physically. It's not enough that he can rely on his endless talent, and this is good. Alright, I like this because this is what people talk about the Premier League. Like, yes, you're going to need mad skill, mad techers, Eden Hazard, but you need to be able to fight and take a beating. It's like, yeah, go and be a mad talent in Ligue 1 or La Liga where you can just show your technical skills and that's it. But the Premier League, you need that, but also you need to be a warrior, which really means you're a top tier footballer. Let's read the last bit of the what's it called? Story? Quote? Anyway, you know. For me, the question is, can he show his teeth in the end when it gets tough? So I was very happy when against Wolves it was him to almost score the decisive header in the box against those towering defenders, and it would have been a nice goal at the end of the match. He does not hesitate, and this is what I want to see from him. The rest will come because the guy can be a huge part of this club. Honestly, that's an important point because the towering header at the end, he is brave. He looks gangly and everyone thinks he's lightweight and he doesn't run around, but he does run around. He presses, he combines, he's selfless, he's skillful, he can drive through the pitch through 4 people pressing him, and he will jump up against like hairy-ass Premier League centre-backs in the last minute and try and score a header. That's brilliant. That's like Didier Drogba, Diego Costa stuff. I'm not saying he's a striker, but this is the kind of bravery you need from a Chelsea player. All the techers, but you need to put yourself in danger at the end to go for the win. Kai Havertz has got that. He's not a lightweight Germanic techers boy. He's excellent. Believe in him, and believe in Thomas Tuchel's ability to bring the best out of him. And that end of the therapy session, friends. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Drop a like if you have. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the experience. That's it. Enjoy the football, and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double, silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.